Male archetypes. What are they? Today, concepts like the alpha male and beta male are often discussed in our videos. Some groups who think they're incredibly clever will rant about how these concepts are either unreal or only apply to animal herds. We're well aware that these are not biologically or scientifically grounded concepts in the human context, but we use them because they represent the truths we wish to communicate, just like in theater, where imaginary roles are used to reflect reality. These metaphorical archetypes allow men to understand and hopefully solve the deep, lifelong issues they struggle with. Think of it like the concept of zero. Zero doesn't actually exist. It's represented by a circle or ellipse, but that symbol doesn't make it real. It only allows it to be expressed. Zero means nothing, and nothing means non-existent. So how can something that doesn't exist be represented by a circle? Should we then never draw that circle? It's just as absurd for ignorant people to say, don't use alpha or beta terminology, they aren't real, as it is to tell someone not to write the number zero, because it's not a tangible thing. Now that we've agreed on this perspective, let's explore the male archetypes. Though our primary focus is the alpha and beta male, knowing the other types is still valuable. After all, even a strong alpha can be domesticated, broken, and eventually converted into a beta. And a beta raised with a warrior spirit can transform into an alpha. Let's dive in. Alpha male, the born leader, hardwired to win. The alpha male stands out in every environment. Confident, charismatic, and dominant. He speaks clearly and decisively. His body language is powerful. One look from him can silence a room. Women are drawn to him naturally because his value comes from within, not from external validation. He doesn't avoid competition, he thrives on it. Today, being an alpha is not about brute strength. It's about mental agility, strategic thinking, and remaining composed during crises. He doesn't panic, he doesn't whine, he doesn't sulk or curse fate. He acts calmly and rationally. He is the pillar others lean on. With wisdom and courage, he guides others and naturally assumes leadership, not through oppression, but by offering vision, direction, and collective benefit. In any group, if a man's word doesn't carry weight, he's not the alpha. Women admire unknown alpha males, and those who know him obey. Other men either submit, respect him, or fear him. Only another alpha can challenge or negotiate with him. He never blindly submits, even to a stronger alpha. He uses his intellect and balances power dynamics. He's calculating. His ability to survive and win ensures others keep believing in him. This perpetuates his leadership. A man who can't solve problems or manage crises is mentally unfit to lead. And a man who cannot lead himself cannot be alpha. Self-leadership over your own body and life is the start of becoming alpha. As a man gains alpha skills, he unlearns the broken beta ones. This is the beginning of a man's most meaningful transformation, the journey from a fake identity to his true self. Alpha is a man's natural state, but poor upbringing and external pressure often deform this potential early in life. Beta male, the invisible nice guy, silent loser. The beta male is everywhere but rarely noticed. He's culturally seen as the good guy, honest man, or the one who respects women. But this usually means he suppresses his own needs for approval. He tries hard to attract women, gifts, compliments, acts of service, yet ends up in the friend zone. Why? Indecisiveness and lack of charisma, reliance on reliability over attraction, over attachment, approval-seeking behavior. Though they seem like reliable partners, betas are often seen as lacking excitement or sexual chemistry. They don't show masculine energy. They're passive, indecisive, and seek permission to be chosen. Worse, when rejected, they feel angry or resentful. Society sees them as functional but invisible workers. Diligent, compliant, but not outstanding. Beta males, when combined with helplessness, may erase their own identity. The problem isn't being good, it's failing to set boundaries and deriving self-worth from others, from an evolutionary lens. Throughout history in tribal communities, alphas protected, led, and attracted mates. Betas orbited alphas, contributed to the group, and were often sexually excluded. That dynamic echoes today. Women subconsciously seek decisive, confident men. Beta men provide security but not excitement. How does a beta male form? He's not born, he's shaped by society. Overprotective parenting, especially dominant mothers. Lack of discipline. Don't fight back schooling. Be a good boy narratives. Emotional repression. Over time, he becomes approval-seeking, suppresses his masculinity, and lacks boundaries. He believes, if I'm kind to her, she'll love me. I must suppress emotions to be accepted. I'm too soft to lead. Anger is bad. I must stay calm. Beta males collapse in romantic relationships. Nice guy syndrome equals, if I'm good, she'll love me. But what happens? She treats him like a friend. If they date, she slowly loses attraction. Eventually says, you're great, but because women want security and passion. Beta offers one, not both. She faces a dilemma. Beta equals safe, but not sexy. Alpha equals sexy, but maybe unreliable. She often picks the alpha and tries to tame him. If successful, he loses his edge and becomes beta. Then she's no longer attracted. It's a vicious cycle. Betas, meanwhile, get used and discarded. They're often emotional cushions, not romantic interests. This leads to bitterness and existential collapse. We'll explore more of these painful, manipulative dynamics later. Sigma male, the silent leader, alpha outside the system. Sigma males are strong and charismatic like alphas, but operate outside the social hierarchy. They create their own game, reject rules, and draw power from solitude. Their mystery makes them even more attractive. They don't command crowds, they think deeply and act strategically. Emotionally balanced, they are neither overly affectionate nor cold. They can be ruthless or compassionate without pretending. Omega male, rejected by the system, living on the edge. Omega males are often excluded from society or choose to detach from it. This may be due to repeated failure or disillusionment. Some see it as freedom. They reject status, money, and social approval. Often loners, rebels, or outcasts, they may adopt radical behaviors or beliefs. But this supposed freedom often hides deep emotional wounds. Delta male, society's backbone, the silent majority. Delta males are average, not too successful, not a failure. They live quietly, focused on one job or one relationship. They value comfort and routine. They keep the system running, but their soul sometimes whispers, couldn't I be more? Their relationships are stable but can lack passion. They want peace, not chaos. But this often leads to a life of silent frustration unless awareness awakens. Gamma male, intelligent, sensitive, but internally wounded. Gamma males are smart and introspective, but socially awkward and emotionally bitter. Often rejected by women and peers, they withdraw into themselves. They believe I deserve love, but no one values me. They may act passive-aggressively or isolate. Their biggest challenge, they don't believe in their own power. If they did, they could become remarkable. But past rejections have broken their spirit. Time for reflection. You may see parts of yourself in several types. No one is 100% alpha or beta. We carry a mix. What matters is not what you were, but what you're willing to become. You lived those past roles because that's what you thought you deserved. Now, it's time to reprogram what you believe you're worthy of. Not through wishful thinking or gym workouts alone, but by reconstructing your core beliefs. The truth is, the natural male state is mostly alpha. Beta traits are defects, glitches caused by trauma, culture, or broken systems. A society full of strong, confident, dominant, proud, purposeful men thrives. If men collapse, society collapses. Women cannot respect mentally weak beta men. They can only exploit them. This leads to broken relationships and ultimately broken lives. In the end, a broken car is bad, but a car with no steering wheel, even worse. Now imagine both problems at once.